Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. We're the Road to Glory podcast. I'm Juliet.
And I'm Cecilia. And today's episode, while we are waiting impatiently for
Yeah,
F2 and F1 Academy to be back, obviously there's still plenty of other good video series to watch, so you can still go watch those. We are sadly not covering them right now because what we are here to do today is giving you an overview of what the F3 grid for next year will look like. Because obviously we have gotten a lot of announcements because post-season testing is underway. So we'll dive into everyone that has been announced, who hasn't been announced yet, like talking a bit about what we think the grid for next year will look like and what will happen.
exactly. We have had a lot of announcements because of postseason testing, and a lot of teams want to test their drivers for next year. So they let us know. But not all of the teams. Some of the teams test with drivers, don't announce anything, and then come back towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, and then announce their drivers for the F3 season next year. But I think we will just start to dive into who we have confirmed for next year.
Yes.
Where do you want to start? Do you have a specific team you want to talk about first?
Well, I feel like we need to talk about who everyone are talking about is going to be the strongest driver lineup for next year, and also the strongest team in F3 at the
Yeah,
moment. So, like, they are a triple threat because that is obviously Trident next year.
they
Looking
are.
insane.
They're looking beefy, if I can say that.
They are. They're preparing for war and they want to win. Like,
They have really put everything behind. They're like, we are signing good drive. Not that other people aren't, but they're signing
no.
some drivers who have really been talked about. Because they have Freddie Slater, who we've spoken about a lot on the podcast already, who's done a couple of 2 races, one in Bahrain with AIX and Spa with High Tech. So already have some experience under his belt, also doing really well in Freca this year. So, and he was in GB3, but he's missed a couple of GB3 rounds.
Yeah,
But yeah, Freddie is a threat.
definitely. Because obviously, Freddie is one of the very hyped drivers and hyped for a reason currently, with only 2 races to go in Monza, actually, this weekend. He is leading the championship, but only by 4 points. And yeah, the driver in second place that can also still win the championship will be his teammate next year. So again, strong lineup with Matteo Di Paolo, and like trigger warning for everyone who don't like mispronouncing names because we will be mispronouncing a lot of
Yeah.
names and I'm so sorry. But yeah, he'll also be driving for Trident. Super exciting signing as
Trident
well.
are like, I am going to have the driver who runs Freca in my lineup, and I'm
Yes.
hedging my bets. Both of
Yeah.
you are going to be in my team.
Exactly. We need the person who wins. So now, it being so close, we'll just sign both of them. And if that wasn't enough, we also obviously, for my great excitement, because
Yeah.
I was waiting for this announcement, like I was starting to get nervous, we have Noah Stromstel, which is obviously the highest returning driver in F3 for next season. So 2 very impressive rookies and Noah all coming to like wanting to win the title, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Really, really strong lineup overall from Trident. They are definitely going to be a team to watch for next year. I mean, they dominated this year with Rafa, so I'm
Yeah.
very interested to see if we can have another dominate season, or we're just going to be swapping wins, maybe even between the
Yeah.
Trident boys, because they're all looking really,
Mm.
really strong.
Yes, it will be very interesting to see what will happen because definitely they are all going in as like being title favorites
Yeah.
almost because obviously the team Triton has won multiple years in a row now, and with all of the drivers being as strong as they are, it will definitely be interesting. Also because, as you mentioned, Freddie, I would count him as a rookie, but I know technically he doesn't count because he's done 2 race weekends. But it definitely still going in as a rookie, and also obviously he's a really great driver.
It'll be interesting to see what he can do in the Trident next year.
Yeah,
As you said, a team who has been very dominant in the team's championship as well. So it'll be interesting to see him in that car. In Frecker at the moment, he was in Prema. So he makes a
Yeah.
switch completely, because you could say he could have stayed with Prema, but we all know Prema in F3 are not. I actually think this year was their worst year they've ever had
Yeah.
since F3 was named F3 when the name
Yeah.
changed. That should have been their worst season. So I understand
Yeah.
why Freddie was like, I'm leaving. Sorry.
Yes. It's super sad to see, but we are unfortunately in an ongoing trend of every driver kind of running away from them. But just because after this new F3 car was introduced, they have been struggling. And I'm sure they can get back into like performing as they used to. But definitely the drivers at this moment, if you want to like go in with a chance of winning the championship in your rookie season, they
Yeah.
don't really have the fate in Prema right now, because we also see that with this year Prema's drivers are also running away to other teams.
Exactly. I think that leads us smoothly into talking about
Yes.
Campos, who, yes,
Yeah.
fighting, also a good team, fighting for the championship this season.
Yeah.
I
Obviously won
believe
the team's championship as well. So very good team
exactly.
to be at. Yeah.
Exactly. So really up there, almost winning drivers as well, because their
Yeah.
drivers had a shot. So makes sense why Ugo Ugochukwu has left Prema and has now found a home at Campos, which is traditionally a place for Red Bull juniors, as we have found the past couple years. Him as a McLaren junior, well, there is speculation that that could perhaps not be for much longer. Um, there's just, I mean, let's not believe all the rumors, but there are
No.
some rumors out there that are saying because of the rookie season that he had this year, McLaren could perhaps drop him. If they do, I think he'll be swooped up by someone else, and I think he'll have a good season at Campos next year in 26.
Yes. Would be interesting to see if he would go the traditional campus driver route of being a Red Bull Junior, because obviously that has been heavily dominated by Red Bull Juniors campus in the recent years. But yeah, it is an interesting point in time for the McLaren Junior Academy in general, because obviously we've also seen Alex Dunn in F2 leaving McLaren with immediate effect. Also speculations that could be to join Red Bull instead. So interesting
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, I think I've heard some rumors that people are saying a lot of junior programs are not closing down, but getting a lot smaller. Because I've also heard that Martinius backing isn't confirmed with McLaren as well. Do McLaren not want to have any juniors? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, because obviously they do need the juniors for obvious reasons, both to help them progress through their careers, but also like for themselves. Like they need young drivers to do the FP1 sessions that need to be done, and also like testing and other things, and also just to prepare themselves for the future, because we are in a time right now in F1 where we see a lot of rookies performing super well. So it would be kind of odd to see that the teams are not really
Yeah.
preparing to get more rookies up. But then again, maybe they just think there won't be any seats for them right now, so it wouldn't benefit them to use all this money on drivers who would potentially just leave them, because we have also seen a lot of young drivers not having the same loyalty to the junior academy, starting off with Oscar obviously leaving Alpine's junior team. Like, so maybe it's also like the teams worrying that all this money they're putting into a driver won't like benefit themselves in the end.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe they're thinking, oh, well, we'll just swoop up good drivers when we need to, when they come
Yeah.
to like Formula 2 or stuff. But I do think it would be weird for McLaren to pretty much completely get rid of their junior
Yes.
program, especially because right now their drivers are fighting for the World Drivers' Championship in Formula One.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe if one of them wins it, maybe one of them will want to leave. Like, we don't know. Yes, they are technically in their contracts for quite a long while, but
Mm.
things can change. So if I was McLaren, I honestly probably would have tried to keep Alex Dunn, but as
Mm.
we mentioned, they couldn't reach an agreement. But yeah, I hope that Ugo and Martinez still keep the McLaren backing, because they are both very talented drivers.
Mm.
feel like we've gotten off the point. We can go back to Campos now.
Yes, it was Campos we were talking about. And obviously, Ugo is not the only exciting signing they've made. They've also announced that Theo Phil Nile will also be making the switch from VAR to
Yeah.
Campos. So definitely a step up, I would say. I'm very excited to see him. Obviously, one of the best performing rookies, right behind, obviously, Rafa was the best performing rookie.
Yeah.
But if we take him out of the equation, then we had Noah and Theo Phil Nile very close to each other. So like Theo right behind Noah. So still definitely also will be interesting to see what he can do at a team like Campos.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting for him. As I was saying, he was kind of one of those rookies who was kind of always there, and
Yeah.
in VAR who are not necessarily the greatest team, if I can,
Yeah.
not the most
No.
competitive team. I'll put it nicely.
Yeah.
So it was really exciting to see him switch over to Campos and get a good team for 26. I definitely think he's someone that we should keep an eye on next year for race wins and maybe championship contender. And then the final seat in Campos, we have Ernesto Rivera. Okay, could be saying that wrong. I don't. I only really speak English, so my
Yeah. Well,
pronunciation.
we'll mispronounce a lot of these drivers' names, but I'm sure as we get into next season, we'll actually hear them more and learn them.
Yes,
So just
exactly.
bear with us.
Ernesto comes from Spanish F4 with Campos, so it really makes sense that he is continuing with the team. And he did Formula Winter with them and Euro Cup 3. So he is part of the Campos family and will be continuing to be a part of it in the Formula 3 2026 season.
Yes, definitely exciting to see what he can do. Obviously, he's gonna be a rookie in the series. And also, like, that's an interesting note as well about the people who have been announced so far. Because if I'm not mistaken, out of the drivers that have been announced, like, we still miss 7 drivers to be properly officially announced. But, like, out of the people who have been announced, there are 14 rookies so far. So, like, almost half the grid consists of rookies for next year, which will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of new faces, which is so exciting. It's going to be chaos. I just know
Yes,
it.
it will be. But yeah, definitely still a strong lineup for Campus as well. It also shows that they are also aiming to win another team's championship. Like now they've gotten the taste of it. They want to do it a second time, I'm sure.
Exactly. And I think they have a strong lineup to do that with.
Yes. Also, obviously talking about teams not announcing their full driver lineup yet, I think it's interesting that Prema, we love Prema for all who have ever watched a single episode of this podcast. We really love Prema. They are family.
Yeah.
They have only announced one driver so far.
Yep. They have only announced Enzo Deligny, who currently sits third in the the FRECA Championship.
Yeah, Formula Regional European Championship. Yeah.
Yes. So that is a very strong signing from them.
Yes.
Very interested to see what he can do. He also tested for them this past weekend in the first round of post-season testing. So yeah, someone to keep an eye on. I'm really interested to see how he does. I'm sure we'll speak more about the results in another episode when we talk about all of post-season testing as a whole. But yeah, literally he's the only one they've announced. There are rumors though.
Yeah. The rumors are obviously that we have like who tested for Prema, but it is important to remember that people can test for a team and then not get the seat, even though you would expect that to like be the natural progression. But we did, for example, see last year Freddie Slater tested for Rodin, and obviously he didn't even like step up to F3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel confident that the people who tested for Prema are also going to be the drivers they will sign, because even before it was announced, these 2 drivers, there were rumors that the other seats would be taken up by returning drivers, Louis Sharp and James Wharton.
Yes. Very interesting that Louis makes the switch from Rodin to Prema. I would say if Prema have a good car, Louis, he is fast. He's definitely
Yeah.
within a shot of scoring podiums and wins. He had a bit of a struggle in his rookie campaign. But we know from I forget the name of this series that he did. Is it New Zealand or Australia? Frock?
Oh, yeah, the Formula Regional Oceania Championship.
Yes, that
Yeah,
one. He did
that.
that, performed well. So Louis is really, he is a prospect to be talking about, and I would love to see him succeed in Prema.
Yeah, because he is like a successful driver, I believe. Didn't he also win GB3 before
Yeah,
joining Formula 3? So, obviously, a very talented driver. He definitely struggled in his rookie season, as you say. So, it will be interesting to see what he can do in Prema because traditionally, it would be very exciting for the drivers signing with Prema. But it is kind of going into the unknown now that we have seen them struggling as much as they did this season. So, hopefully, they'll be able to find some more pace because I definitely think they do have a talented driver lineup. So they should have the possibility to perform well next year. Hopefully, I really hope for Prema's sake that they figure out the issue they've had with this new car.
yeah, I really hope so. It'll be interesting to see James Walton at Prema,
Yes.
see what he can do in that car. That's about it, I have to say. I don't know much about James, to be honest.
No, me neither. He's gone kind of under the radar for some
Yeah,
reason, I feel like.
yeah, Australian. That's a fact I have about him.
Let's go. A New Zealander and an Australian. That
And
I'm
actually, I don't know where's Enzo from? He sounds Italian.
He is driving under what flag? Hold on, let me see. Where are you, Enzo? He's driving under the French flag. Is that right?
Oh, I think you might be right. I think he is French.
Yeah, but he's
French
also
Chinese.
part Chinese. That was what I was about to say. So he drives under the French flag, but obviously he has like dual nationality.
Yes.
Also, an interesting aspect of the grid for next year in general is that we are seeing a lot of drivers from Asia coming over to F3 this year, like more than we usually tend to see.
It's really exciting because I remember I
Yeah,
think it was last year we had like one, and now we're getting
yeah,
more Thai drivers, more Chinese, more Japanese, which is really good because they have such a big motorsports culture over there,
yeah.
and they have their own like series to go into. But it's
Mm.
so exciting to see them coming through the ranks, so that maybe we can get more Asian drivers on the F1 grid in the future.
Definitely. And talking about Asian drivers moving over to F3, obviously we have to mention High-Tech's driver lineup because they seem to have a strong rookie lineup where two of them are from Asia. Obviously, now we'll mispronounce some names maybe, but no. Turn it back. Jin Nakamura is from Japan and Michael Shin from Korea. Or South Korea. So definitely interesting. Well, to see
Exactly,
what they can do.
yeah, and Michael comes in to the championship, and actually competed the last 3 rounds in
Mm,
2023 for PHM Racing, as they were known then. We now
yeah,
know them as AIX. But
yeah,
so he does come in with a bit of experience, and he's fighting for the driver's title in Euro Formula Open. So
yes.
he is competitive, and Jin currently sits 10th in the FRECA standings. So very interesting to see them, see what they can do. I'm excited for the commentators to pronounce all of these names.
Yes, I am as well, because I'm sure they'll be struggling like us in the beginning. But then, please, commentators, figure out how to say their names so we can imitate that, because I'm so sorry, but we're probably mispronouncing half of these people's names.
If any drivers would like to tell us how to pronounce your name, please,
Yes,
I'm so open to. But we're coming in from just reading them from our personal languages, so the pronunciation
yes,
definitely will be off.
yeah. Definitely. Come on and join us on the podcast. You can also just send us a voice note. Just saying your name.
Anything.
Would very much appreciate that. But yeah, talking about high tech, they have gone for a full rookie lineup because they also have the Irish driver, which I also don't know if his first name is just Finn or if you pronounce the O in his name, Fionn. Like, I don't know, McLaughlin. The last name is at least easier to say. Now it's
Yeah.
the first name that's tripping me up.
Yeah, very interesting. He's 17, so he is one of the young rookies.
Yes.
He graduated from karting at the beginning of 2025. Let's just sit and think about that, because
Yeah,
that's
he's
crazy.
very new to single seaters. Very
And
new.
then comes into British F4 with high tech and wins it. So, like,
Yeah.
incredible.
Really, it's definitely some fast progression from his side is insane. It will be interesting to see how he will do because definitely one to watch out for, I'm sure.
He is also a Red Bull Junior, so I'm sure
Yes.
we'll be seeing the Red Bull livery on a high tech this year. I do
Yeah.
love high tech though. I like the shiny
Yeah.
car, so I'm glad we get to other high techs. But yeah, definitely one to watch. He seems really fast. He's part of the Red Bull Junior Academy, but also just kind of having graduated from karting, maybe could be making some mistakes. F3 is a difficult championship to be thrown into, so be
Yeah.
interesting to see his progression.
Yeah, you never know what can happen, honestly. And it's also like interesting to see the drivers coming from like very different backgrounds and like what stage of the career they are in. Because obviously, you say he's fresh out of karting almost. Like it's not that long ago he started in single seaters. Also, like other drivers who have been doing other series with F3 cars and like getting used to them before jumping into F3. Some drivers not even having done karting and just gone straight into single seaters, not straight into F3, but like other single seaters, like for example, Noah Stromstead doesn't have a background in like competitive karting. So very interesting to see how diverse the grid is in that sense as well.
Exactly. Very interesting to see everyone's different paths towards motorsports and into the Formula 3 to 1 ladder.
Yes, and obviously it has also become like even more important to finish off the F3 season well because this year it was obviously introduced that the top 5 drivers in the F3 championship at the end of the season will get a prize fund targeted towards moving up to F2.
Exactly. And if the driver who comes in fourth does not move up, then they don't get that money. So it's really
Yeah.
helping drivers on that ladder up. Um, but I guess we can talk about another team. We can talk about
Yes.
another team who's completely confirmed their grid. So we can talk about
Yes.
AIX, who
Yes.
have signed Brad Benavides again, fully confirmed full season.
Yes. Let's wait and see. It is
Yeah,
AIX, so you never know what could happen one race into the season and they'll have switched out one of the drivers. Like, you never know.
exactly. He will be coming back for his third season, and I think he'll be one of the oldest on the grid.
I was
Once
about to say
everyone
he'll
announced.
definitely be the age president. Like he'll be the oldest driver. Like he's my age, I believe, so
Yeah,
he will be turning 25 next year. So roughly around like what
but
8 years older than
yeah,
some of the youngest drivers, if
yeah,
not more. So yeah, crazy thing
exactly.
about. But he obviously performed super well at the end of this season, so it will be
Yeah,
very interesting to see if he can keep that momentum going and like actually make a full campaign
yeah.
because he was dropped in pretty late this season. So it will be interesting to see if he and AIX can keep up the good work for hopefully a full season next year.
Yeah, if we start and end this season with the same AIX drivers, it will be a
Yes,
miracle. I really hope we do,
it will be.
because Fernando Barrichello is their other signing. He
Yes.
was one of the first ones to be announced. We've probably talked about this
Mm,
because he did the last race in Monza with them and was
yeah.
announced for the full season. Um, but I really hope he gets a full season with them. I definitely think with his name and his backing, he probably should keep the seat. I
Yeah.
don't see why they would drop him. Um, and I hope he really does well at AIX next year.
Yeah, he definitely had a rough start to the championship, but obviously then again, it is difficult to just be dropped into F3, the final round of the championship. So will be interesting to see what he can do. Obviously, and yeah, definitely one of the drivers that won't run out of like money or anything.
Yeah.
And as long as he performs well, I'm also sure he will stay. But it is interesting to see that AIX is the team that was swapping out drivers left and right this season, but then they were the like first team to like fully announce their full driver lineup for next year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So like they're committed this time to the drivers, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're like, we're so sorry about what happened this year. We're just gonna
Yeah.
completely change that up. And for their final signing, they have Yevan David. I'm probably
Yeah.
mispronouncing that again.
Maybe.
But
We don't know.
yeah, he is the first Sri Lankan driver in F3, which I just think
Yes.
is so incredible. I'm sure there are so many Sri Lankan fans that are so excited to see him on the F3 grid. He sits third in Euro Formula Open. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do, hopefully with a full season with AIX.
Yes, definitely something to look forward to, hopefully seeing all these drivers get a full season so it won't be like just in and out of with drivers like AIX this year. Like, can we please not repeat that, AIX? Can we just stay normal for one season and perform well? Because obviously they do have pace in their car with how Brad Benavides performed in the final 2 rounds, taking pole positions in both of them. So will be interesting to see. But going from one of the teams who were first to announce all of the drivers to a team that I mistakenly said like didn't exist apparently, like in our last episode, because I mentioned that it's only AIT and Prema that have like fully confirmed the drivers. Turns out that I forgot that DAMS existed. They haven't announced a single driver, and for myself, I will say DAMS was a new team this year. So in my
Exactly.
mind, they didn't exist apparently, because they haven't announced a single driver, which is obviously why I just forgot they were even there.
Yeah. There are some rumors of who they will announce. I'm
Yes.
not gonna say who it is for mystery, or because I cannot pronounce this man's name. I will be quiet,
Well,
never said anything, but there's some rumors that perhaps a Thai driver will be driving for them. I mean, we did see Christian Ho driving for them this year. He now makes the switch. He is elsewhere on the grid. We will get into that. But they literally have not signed anyone.
no.
There is rumors Jared G could also go there, but these are all just in the air. There's nothing confirmed. Dams are just seeing what's gonna happen.
Exactly, because obviously the rumors are also like helped along by the fact that these are also the drivers they have
Yeah.
chosen to test for them. At least in Jerez, I actually don't know if any teams have made any swaps for Barcelona test.
I don't know.
I haven't heard
we
anything
haven't
about
gotten any
that.
announcements.
No, at time of recording, we haven't heard
Yeah.
anything. So it will be interesting if they like test the same drivers again, if they'll get their seats. And yeah, obviously we did have a Thai driver testing for them, which I also am afraid to even try to pronounce. So maybe we'll just put it on the screen. This person may be driving for them next year because he's testing for them.
Exactly. Will be interesting to see when we get a Dams announcement, if it's soon or if they wait until ages, maybe beginning of next year. I
Yeah.
guess they're just taking their time to see who they want. They are a new team to the series, as we mentioned, so maybe
Yeah.
they want to just get the right combination of drivers.
Yeah, because currently they are testing one driver, which I'm tempted to try and pronounce his name, but then I look at it and I'm just like, I will never pronounce this right ever. But the driver from Thailand would be a rookie to the series, and that the other 2 drivers would be returning drivers. But then again, Dams is a team that, okay, so they are a new team, so maybe they are excused, but they did have a pretty rocky season this year. So I also don't think it's that attractive team for drivers to sign with unless they don't have any other options. And of course, they will go for it. So it will be interesting to see if they'll stick with the test lineup they are having right now. Obviously, and one of the drivers they're testing with is Nicola Lacorte, which obviously he is at the time an Alpine junior driver, but definitely one of the drivers that has gotten like a lot of bad reputation of like getting a race ban this season. So not the best returning driver perhaps, but would be interesting to see what he would do in the second season.
Exactly. Will be interesting to see where he will land up. But if we're talking about some big moves, I don't know if this was big moves to everyone, but as a Prema girly and as someone who luckily met this driver
Yeah.
this year, we have Brando Badouer also making the switch, leaving Prema and signing with Rodin, which I think is very
Yes.
interesting. He did not have the greatest rookie campaign, whether that was down to the car or himself. It will be interesting to see what he can do with Rodin. Rodin are, I feel like, a really good, dependable team. They're there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They are there. They
Definitely.
could be on the podium. They could be getting wins. Perhaps not consistently, but they are there. So I think this is a good move for Brando. I think McLaren have absolutely lost all faith in Prema and completely
Yes,
taken
they're just
his
like, get me out of here. Yeah.
which I hate. Hello, McLaren F1 fan and Prema fan for life. Like,
Yeah.
I loved it when I had my juniors there, but it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's totally fine. But yes,
It's all
very
good.
interesting. Very interesting to see Brando at Rodin.
Yeah, definitely. Because as you say, Rodin is like traditionally a good team, not like a team's championship team. Obviously, that has been heavily dominated by Prema and Trident, not really that much, but like, yeah, they won a season, and now Campos won a season. So like, technically it is up in the air now that Prema has like having their downfall. Could be anyone that take over from them, but definitely an interesting signing. Also will be interesting to see if Brando is one of the few drivers that will remain with the McLaren Junior Academy. Hopefully he will. We seriously don't know. He definitely had a very tough season at Prema this year. He was, I believe, the lowest performing of the Prema drivers this season. So it will be good for him to start fresh at another team, I'm sure.
Yeah, very exciting for him. And as we were talking about Dams and Christian Ho, he has moved to Rodin as well, which is very interesting because he really did show some pace. And like we know, Dams was struggling last year. This year, oh, geez, being between
it
seasons
feels like
is
it's
hard.
last year. We're still in 2025, but it doesn't. When the season is over, it feels like last year. The season we've just had this year.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
Yeah, it's fine.
He was the first Thai driver. Did he win or did he get a podium?
Isn't like what nationality does Christian have? Is he Thai?
I thought he was Thai.
I think he's from Singapore, isn't he, or something like
something? He's from maybe the first Singaporean. Okay, wait.
I think so. We'll.
No, it's a Christian Horner.
Oh no, not Christian Horner. We don't want to know anything about him. Get him off. Get him out of here.
He is Singaporean. Okay, backtrack.
Okay.
He was definitely the first Singaporean driver to do something. Wait, what was it?
Yes. What did Christian Ho do to be the... Like, I feel like that was... This reminds me of when Zhou Guanyu was the first Chinese driver in F1, and everything he did, it was like, he was the first Chinese driver to do this. That's the same we can say about Christian Ho. Like, he is the first driver to get a podium, I think. He didn't win, did he?
I'm pretty sure it's podium. I don't think we heard the same.
I think so too. But I definitely think Christian Ho was like the best performing Dams driver. I actually don't have the stats, so I'm not sure. But like, he's the driver you remember for putting in some good performances for Dams. So it's definitely a step up for him to go to Rodin. So it will be really interesting to see what he can do with a car that hopefully likes him better than the Dams car did, because they were not good friends, I don't think.
No, they weren't. I think every single Dams driver was really struggling. And I'm pretty sure with one of their drivers from last season, Matthias Zagazet, I think he's left completely. I think he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where. Don't think anything's been announced yet. But maybe into endurance racing. So
Yeah.
sad for him that his single-seater career kind of has ended. But yeah, their Dams was really not the best team, and it's very nice to see Christian has gotten out of Dams. We love you, Dams,
Yes.
but you just need time.
But
You can't
yeah,
come into the
exactly.
championship and expect to win it. You know what I mean?
No, it's kind of like with F1 Academy with High Tech, who's also like a traditionally good feeder series team, but they are new to the championship, so they are not performing the best. So maybe it just takes some time. Maybe next year Dams will be a great team. We don't know yet, but definitely for now it is a move up for him to go to Rodin. And also talking about Rodin and talking about drivers like Matthias, like I said, from Dams, who is probably going into endurance racing. We have a Rodin driver from this year who is not on the grid next year, and
As of yet,
this will probably, as of yet, we don't know yet. But it looks like his time in single seater is over, because obviously Rodin driver this year, Callum Boyson, has announced that he is like in the running for some Porsche. Now I don't remember what it is. Hold on, let me see. It is like he's a finalist for the 2026/2027 Porsche Career Cup GB Junior program. So obviously, if he became like a Porsche Junior, which I'm sure he hopes he will, since he's a finalist, he'll probably move out of single seater, which is unfortunate to see if his hopes were to make it to F1, but still, like, again, as we've mentioned multiple times, F1 is not everything, and you can be a successful race driver in a lot of other series. So it will be interesting to see where he will go, but sadly not in F3 at the moment, it seems.
no, unfortunately, we have no announcement of him where he will be next year, but I trust wherever he goes is probably the best place for him to go. He is very talented
Yes.
and has shown a lot of pace in Rodin, but obviously he will not be driving for Rodin next year.
No, because the final driver for Rodin that has been announced is a rookie driver, and I may pronounce his name wrong, but I think it's Pedro Claret, something. At least Pedro.
He's
That part I can
Pedro!
say correctly. Yes, we love the name Pedro.
Pedro.
Yes. So will the greatest team join the grid next year with Rodin?
Yes, very exciting to see him. He has been in Freca the past 2 seasons, 8th as a rookie, and is currently sitting 4th. So really talented in the fight, right at the top of the field. So I think it's a strong signing from Rodin, especially to have 2 returning drivers and then a rookie. So who knows what can happen.
Exactly. Honestly, anything can happen, and we just have to wait to see. Obviously, if you are interested in hearing what is going on in post-season test, that will most likely be our next episode. So stay tuned for that, where we like wrap up both what happened in Jerez and Barcelona. But you'll have to wait for that, because obviously, as of recording right now, they are starting the post-season test in Barcelona in a couple of days' time, I think.
Yeah.
So, or when you're watching, it's going on, but we'll make sure just to get like the highlights from what happened out to you.
Exactly. And I think we can talk about our last team. I know we've jumped around a little bit. I don't know if we have more than one team to talk about.
I think we have 2 teams, because I was also like,
I forgot about.
No, we have more. We have more.
What?
I actually think we have 3 teams.
What?
Because we haven't talked about. I was also like looking at my list and was like, oh my god, this is not in order. Who are we missing? But we are missing, and like according to me, if I'm correct, we're missing ART, and we haven't talked about MP yet either, which is an exciting team.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about VAR.
That's exactly the third thing we haven't talked about is VAR. So how have we been talking for so long and not even having like close to being done yet? We have to speed up here. And like, you just forgot about someone, but that's fine.
I
I forgot Dams last time.
I completely forgot about MP. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, MP, we love you, but apparently you do not exist in Juliet's brain right now. But
No.
MP was one of the exciting teams to talk about because an exciting move has been made for the Ferrari Junior Tuka Taponen going to MP.
Yep. Switches from ART, which is very interesting.
Yes.
Will be interesting to see what he can do at MP. I feel like Ferrari Junior Dutch team, interesting combination. Just in my mind.
Doesn't match well. Yeah.
No. But Ferrari have faith in MP, so it will be interesting to see what he can do his second season now with MP.
Talking about other returning drivers at MP, we have a driver who didn't make a swap, which is few of them. I feel like we've only had a couple of drivers who have stayed at the same team, because we have Alessandro Giusti staying with MP as well, who really performed well this season. Obviously a Williams junior, so it will be interesting to see what he can do in his second campaign.
Yes, exactly. Very exciting. Then the final MP driver is Mattia. Now I can't say his surname. Colne.
No.
I'm gonna go with that. I know it's wrong. Please don't flame me in the comments. Actually, you can.
But that is what we're gonna say.
Yeah.
He's Italian, so channel your inner Italian.
In Italian? I don't think I have one.
No, I don't either. Let's just call him Mattia from now.
Yeah,
for now. We'll know his surname later, I'm sure. But yeah, definitely interesting rookie signing as well.
Yes. He has also competed for MP in his entire single-seater career. So he's really part of that MP family.
He's
again.
loyal.
He's very loyal.
Yeah.
He won Euro Cup 3 with them this year, and Spanish F4 with them last year. So I think very exciting that you can progress through the lower formulas just with one team, and it takes you nicely all the way up to F2. So it'll be very interesting to see how he does in his rookie campaign, and if in the future he stays and continues only being with MP.
Yeah, it's rare that we see someone staying with the same team, but MP is one of those teams that are consistently good across the different series. They are perhaps not the best team, but they are a team where you can perform well at in the lower feeder series, in F3, and also in F2 for that matter. So definitely could see him, if he performs well, maybe staying in MP his whole feeder series career. Who knows? Someone, though, that chose to not stay with MP, which leads us well into the next team we have forgotten about. We haven't forgotten about, but who we are missing to talk about is VAR has signed Bruno Del Pino, obviously switching from MP to VAR, which is kind of an interesting move. One I didn't see happen, at least.
No, because in my mind, I would say that MP traditionally are perhaps a stronger team than VAR, the stronger of the two Dutch teams.
Yeah, maybe we are wrong about VAR. They had performed well this season, because obviously we had Santiago Ramos performing very well for VAR this year. Actually, in the standings, who of them ended higher this year? I don't even remember.
I don't either.
It was MP. MP was the third, so that's fine. But VAR was 5th, so it's not like that. In my mind, they're worse than what they actually are, apparently. Yes, they are on an upwards trajectory, I think,
They
VAR.
are. Maybe I'm focused also too much on F2, because VAR and F2's also not as good. So I think they're better. As we've seen, they seem to be better in F3.
Yeah.
So not as surprising, but still, maybe there was just no seats for Bruno at MP. Maybe he just had no spot there and he had to move. I definitely think he is an exciting prospect. I hope VAR can give him a great car so that he can score podiums and we can see him at the front of the grid.
Yes, definitely. That is what we hope to see. Also, with every single driver, I feel like we say that. Everyone can be at the front. I'm sorry. Someone has to be last.
But with F3, You never know. And you could go from being at the front
That's
of the
true.
grid one race to the back at the next. So our statement still stands. Hedging our bets.
Yes, exactly. And also, we will be making a proper predictions video when we get closer to the F3 season, because obviously right now it's still far away. Like,
Yeah.
we are in October.
Yeah.
So,
October
bit too early
2025.
to make predictions. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, it's still a bit far away the next season. But talking about VAR, obviously they've also signed someone I may pronounce wrong, because that is Hyu Yamakoshi.
Yes.
Japanese driver. Very exciting rookie talent.
Yes. Again, another Asian driver in the Formula 3 Championship. Really exciting to see. He sits 8th in FREC overall. So also in the top 10, really in the front of the grid. FREC has got quite a big grid. So very nice to see him.
Yeah, and a very competitive grid as well.
Very competitive, and it's really nice to see him now graduating to F3. And to finish up VAR's lineup, we have Jesse. Now, I know we've said his name because he stepped in for High Tech for
Yes.
2 rounds. Kind of beginning of the season, though, so I may butcher his surname, but it's Jesse. Oh, oh, do you want to try?
I have forgotten his last name
Me
completely.
too.
Because,
Squedo.
Carasquedo, something. That's fine. Jesse.
Jesse, who was
You all know who
with
he
High Tech for
is.
2 rounds. So,
Yes. Stepping in for his first full season.
exactly. Coming in with some experience behind him, already been on the grid for 2 rounds, as we mentioned. So, exciting to see what he can do with a full rookie campaign.
Yeah, I would still very much count him as a rookie. I'm actually not sure how many rounds they have to have done to, like, officially in the graphics not being counted as a rookie. I think it might be 2, because I don't think Freddie is listed as a rookie when you see the timesheets for the postseason test, which I think is ridiculous, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, obviously very exciting to see him join the grid. And then I guess we can go to the final team, which will be easy to talk about because they only have one driver signed so far, so not a lot to talk about. Because that is obviously AIT signing the rookie driver, who we have no idea how to pronounce either. We are struggling. So bad.
He's Polish. Neither of us speak Polish. So, like,
No.
it's a bit of a struggle. I don't even know if we want to attempt.
No, because my big question is, does someone speak Polish? Do you guys know if the C is pronounced as a K on S? Because that's my fear, is that I will pronounce it in one way and then it can be completely off if it's pronounced the other way. Because it could be Makai, it also could be Macy. Like, 2 very different names.
2 very different people.
Yes. So if you're that one Polish listener we have, let us know how you pronounce this driver name. Possibly his surname is Gladish. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Is that really all that ART have announced?
I'm pretty sure. I think the only drivers they have announced is just like for the testing lineup. I don't think they've made any other announcements.
I thought they had announced Kanato Lee. Don't know if that's how you say his name.
I feel like they only made, in my mind, they only made one announcement, and that was like right the day as they were. Oh yeah, they definitely. Wait, they did announce him. I'm wrong. They have announced 2 drivers. You're right, but it was because it was like the day of post-season testing. They were like, "Oh yeah,
yeah." By the way,
yeah, exactly.
You're staying.
Yeah, so we have 2 announced ART drivers, but I don't think we have the 3rd then.
No,
announced
we don't have the 3rd.
yet.
That 3rd seat is 100% open. There are rumors that Taito Kato. Oh, that's so wrong.
Taito
But
Kato, possibly.
I
Could
sound
be pronouncing
American.
wrong.
I sound American. Why do I sound American? I'm not American here.
No. But I
Anyway,
also don't know how to pronounce it. But him, yeah, he
yeah.
has not been announced it, right? So he's
No,
active.
he's not.
And
He's just rumored for it. He's
yeah,
likely to stay with them because he did F4 French F4 with them. So he's in the
yes, he
family.
is a
So a lot.
French driver.
Yes.
So for a French team,
Yeah.
would be likely
So
to stay if he performs well in
exactly.
the test. The last thing I wanted to say is I'm actually surprised that ART are going with a full rookie lineup, which it's not unheard of. There's also like other teams going for full rookies lineups, like High Tech, I believe, are also full rookie lineup this year. But I don't feel like it's something ART usually do. Like they don't have any experienced drivers, but will be interesting to see when the final driver will officially be announced.
Exactly. We will have to wait and see. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, now that we've actually remembered all of the teams, very sorry about that.
Yes.
I don't think it's great for us to film in the evening, especially when the days are now getting like shorter. And then we
No, it's
we both
completely dark out.
we both have that would sound weird. I was gonna say we both have lives. We both have
No,
jobs
well,
at uni.
yeah, I get
This is
exactly.
this is a passion project, so like our brains are full. If this episode seemed a bit unhinged and all over the place,
Yes,
you know why. But I
that's why.
feel like
Yeah.
we have conveyed information about what we know for the grid next year, a little bit of background on each of the drivers. Give us who you think is going to perform well next year. Do you have anyone you're really excited to see on the grid? Do you have anyone you're really upset is not on the grid? Let us know, because I'd be interested to see your guys' opinions.
Yes, because obviously there are probably some drivers that people were hoping to see on the grid. Talking about James Hadley not being here. So
When I spoke to him and his father,
yeah,
they said there was nothing
casually when
announced.
you spoke to him.
No, literally, when I spoke to him and his father,
Yeah,
and his
yeah.
father does everything for James, like all of
Mm,
the like all of where he will be, you know? They
yeah.
said they were
Mm,
working on something. So, could we
yeah.
see James Headley in the dams? Whoa!
Honestly, it could happen because, as we mentioned, even though we have a postseason test lineup, doesn't mean it will be the drivers that end up in the seats next year. So there's
Exactly.
still
And
hope that James
yeah,
Hadley could be there.
exactly. And especially James has done a couple of rounds this season. Yes, he didn't have every single round. So like I could understand why they maybe didn't test with him and went with other people and then perhaps could switch to him because he has been a very promising prospect, James. And I mean, I've met him twice. Lovely guy.
Yes.
And I really hope he does get a seat. So it'll be interesting to see if he can find somewhere on the grid next year.
Yes, it will be interesting to keep an eye out on. But obviously, so far, this is what the F3 grid looks like. I'm sure we'll be giving you updates for whenever the full grid is announced. And in the meantime, as well, if you are interested in us covering any other racing series, please let us know in the comments. Obviously, we could be talking about ELMS, we could talk about GB3. Obviously, that is almost over. Like, that is over this week. But, like,
Yeah.
do you want, like, little season recap thing about that? Let us know. Any other things? We are open to talk about more serious now. Obviously, we are a bit in a slow point of the feeder series seasons as they start to end, and we have these major gaps. So please let us know what you'll be interested to see, because obviously we will be getting out an episode every week, even though we don't always have like new races to talk about.
There is always news going on in the feeder series world, so we will always be here. We'll
Yes.
always be talking about something. Hopefully consistently every Wednesday. So
Yes.
always tune back in. Make sure you check if we've uploaded a new episode. Follow us on all of our socials on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you're watching this on YouTube, we have Spotify as well, and vice versa. So yeah, we're pretty much everywhere.
Yes.
And keep up with our Instagram, because that's where we post all of the announcements. So that gives you a bit more like real-time information. But yeah, let us
Yeah.
know if there's anything you want from us. If you have any questions, leave them below.
Yes, so that was it for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.